gorgeous plant people, welcome back to Reading Mindfully. My name is Yana, and today we are doing another If I Could Only Keep One snake plant edition. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So like I said, today we are doing my snake plant If I Could Only Keep One. God forbid I had to whittle down my snake plant collection, which one I would keep. And first I want to say that snake plants are very underrated plants. They are just, I don't know, if I could have a bunch of snake plants I actually would, and they definitely don't get as much press as I think they should. I mean, snake plants are structurally interesting. They are nice filler plants. They fill up the corners of your homes. They are good if your homes don't get a lot of light, such as my home. That's why I have snake plants, because they just allow you to have height in your collection. Like I said, they allow you to fill in different corners, lower light corners, and they just give you so much variety. You don't have to always get snake plants like this Xylanica or this one over here. There's other different snake plants. I mean, I don't have a lot in my collection, but there's a lot more that people than what people actually have in their homes. And so I just want to do this video to show which plants I would actually keep in my home. And actually I feel like this might be a little bit difficult because they all serve a different purpose, but I'll say the first one that I wouldn't keep would be this snake plant right here. This is the Fernwood Mikado, and I do enjoy this snake plant. I love the spiky nature of it. I don't really have a lot of spiky snake plants, but I just really like this one because the leaves are so thin and it's so interesting. They also don't hurt, which I really enjoy that. You guys know that's the reason why I don't collect cacti is because I don't like to be pricked. So I really enjoy that in this plant. But it's just a very interesting plant. I just love how spiky it is. The only reason why I wouldn't keep it is because I have a couple more snake plants in my collection that are a little bit more interesting. But like I said, I still like this one. That's why it's in my collection. It's just not as interesting or as structurally beautiful as some of the other ones in my collection. And the next plant that I wouldn't keep, it would just be this snake plant. Not because I don't like it, it's just the fact that it just looks like some of the other ones I have. The reason why I have this one is because it's so much thicker than some of the other ones, so I do enjoy that. This one is a nice grower. I don't think I actually put this one outside and it still gave me a lot of growth. And you can always tell when your snake plants put out growth because the newer leaves are a lot lighter, as you can see here. But I have a lot of leaves on the inside that are a lot lighter, so this plant did a lot of growing. My boyfriend actually velcroed the leaves together because every time he walked by, it would like whack him in the face. So he velcroed some of the leaves together. But yeah, this is what this plant looks like. Like I said, it's very beautiful and I do enjoy it. But I wouldn't keep this if I had to dwindle down my collection. The next one I would probably not keep in my collection would be this snake plant Whitney. And the reason why I wouldn't keep it is because I've had this plant for quite some time. I even put this one outside and it hasn't done nearly as much growing as my other snake plants. You can see this is the only leaf I got the whole time that it was outside. But I do like this snake plant, and the reason why I like it is because it has this really dark section in the middle here, and then it has this like light variegation on the outside, which kind of makes it seem like a tuxedo or like a color blocking kind of effect. So it is an interesting snake plant, but this is the one that literally didn't do anything out of all the ones, like I said. But it's still beautiful, and I bet it would be even beautiful if it was bigger or fuller. This one probably wouldn't get very tall. I think this might be a shorter variety, which is another reason why I wouldn't necessarily keep it, because I do love the taller ones that are in my collection. Because like I said, I do like them when they add height, because I don't have a lot of height in my collection. A lot of my plants are like the same height, and so I do like plants that are taller, so that way I can make my space look a lot bigger than it is, instead of having everything at the same level. So that is a snake plant Whitney. The other one that I wouldn't keep, and I'm not going to lift this up because this plant was so heavy, it actually kind of put a strain on my wrist, but it's this big snake plant over here. Like I said, it's a beautiful snake plant. It actually reminds me of the Whitney, which is probably why I wouldn't keep it, because they're so similar, except for this one just doesn't have that dark coloring in the middle. But it's still a beautiful plant. It's still one of my, I actually do like it because how full the pot is, and so that's why I have it in my collection, because I wanted some that were really tall and I wanted some that were really full, just to give myself some variety. And so that's why I have that one in my collection. But if I had to, give some away, that one would be one. And then the next one I would actually give away, which is surprising because I just got this one. This is the Moonshine, and I really do like this plant. I like how light the leaves come out, especially when you give this one more light. The leaves come out really light, like a creamy green. If you give it less light, they do look like this, or they even come out like this. So I always shoot for this color, and this is the growth that came on my plant when I put it outside. This one was a fantastic grower. I did have most of these pups when I got the plant. However, they were not this big. They were all really small like this, and they were a lot shorter than the mother plant, which is the one in the middle. But as you can see, they're almost all taller than the mother plant, which is so cool that happened in the amount of I think I only had this one outside for a couple months, because I got this plant back in like April, and so I really didn't have it outside that long, and to see how much growth it did was just like, it was mind-blowing. But yeah, this one I probably wouldn't keep, just because I like I said, I like the height, but I love the creaminess. The coloring on this one is just so beautiful. And yeah, this is the Moonshine. I've actually really wanted this for a long time. This one can actually be pretty expensive for a snake plant, which kind of boggles my mind. Usually people only want to sell you like a knuckle for almost $30. And so if you really want to get this plant, you want to make the most of it, I recommend you wait till you can get like a nice bundle of it and give it a blast of light, and it'll grow really well for you really quickly. And the next one I wouldn't keep is, and this one is so cute, this is my Samurai. And the only reason why I wouldn't keep it, it's just so tiny. It's so cute and tiny. The reason why I bought it was because I just kept walking by and I was like, man, that is so cute. And I used to have one of these, and I actually gave it to my mom's boyfriend because he wanted plants, but he didn't want plants that he would have to keep an eye on all the time, because he does work a lot. And so I gave him my Samurai. But when I saw this one, I was like, man, I really miss my Samurai. So I was like, well, I got a 40% discount, and this plant wasn't expensive to begin with, so I just picked it up. But I mean, this one, although it's cute, it can't really offer anything. I mean, if you can barely see it sometimes in my collection, so it doesn't really stick out. And it's like, wow, that plant is beautiful. It's just like, if you happen upon it, like, oh, that's cute. So that's why I wouldn't keep this one, but it is really cute and adorable. And so the last couple ones that I have to talk about are kind of going to be a struggle for me because they all have like serve different purposes in my collection. But this is going to be quite tricky. The next ones, Alright, so the next one that I wouldn't keep would probably be a shocker since this was the last one that I actually purchased, and that is my whale fin. You guys know that I when I saw this plant, I was like, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. And the reason why I bought it is because it's just so beautiful. It was symmetrical, it was nice, and I really loved it. I also gave my other one to my boyfriend's friend, and so I was like, I needed a replacement, and the nursery that I was working at actually just got a shipment in, and I was like, that is perfect. Like, I need it. It's a sign. The universe is telling me you need this plant, and so I bought it. And and I don't think I showed you guys this, but it's actually growing a pup. Can you see that? It's so cute, and it's been growing really fast actually. Because I got this plant back in July. And it's already putting out a pup. So that's really fast actually, because I haven't had it that long at all. And when I bought it, it didn't have a pup. But the reason why I wouldn't keep this plant is not because I don't love it, because I do. It's just, I don't know, it's just because the whale fin, okay, so I have conflicting thoughts when it comes to whale fin. I love the whale fin because it just has this like singular leaf, and I'm just like, wow, that's like a statement plant. My other thing is that, man, this whale fin grows so slow. Like, I want it to grow, but then I don't want it to grow because I love the singular leaf. However, I'm also a person that loves full plants, but the other thing is I don't really like the whale fin as much when it starts to grow other leaves, because then it's not as like a statement plant, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but once the whale fin grows more leaves, I'm just like, nah. Like, it's a nice plant, but it doesn't have that punch like this singular leaf does, if that makes sense. So that would be why I wouldn't keep this plant, and you guys are probably like, you're nuts. But that's kind of my rationale and my like inner fight with this plant, because like I want it to grow, but then I don't want it to grow because I want all my plants to grow. So I just have this like conflicting notion when it comes to this one. But if that makes any sense to you guys, that's why I wouldn't keep this one. But like I said, I really love this one, and I love the singular look at this leaf. But I always get excited when I get new pups. So yeah, just go with me on that one. The next two are going to be kind of difficult to, I don't know, because they're kind of similar, but they're not. But I guess the next one that I wouldn't keep is this Bantel Sensation. I love this Bantel Sensation. This is actually another one. Actually, both of these actually can go for quite a bit of money. And so when I was searching for this Bantel Sensation, I had bought one. I can see if I can find it, because I actually potted it in this pot with the other one that I got. I think it was this section here. I actually bought a Bantel Sensation on Etsy, and it was only like 3 leaves, and I think that cost me almost $30. And so this one is another one like the Moonshine. I would definitely wait for this plant to see if you can find a good deal and a good pot size, because this one can go for quite a bit considering the amount of leaves that you get. And so when I saw this at Bros with Hose, and that's the same place I saw the Moonshine, I thought that was a great deal. And this one is a slower grower, so I would definitely wait to get a good deal, so that way you're not paying that much, because this one is one that actually doesn't really grow that fast. But this one is also one that enjoys a lot more light than the other one, so that's kind of why it doesn't grow as fast. But this one's actually putting out a pup here. If you can see that in there. I mean, it did some growing outside. I think it really enjoyed being outside. But the reason why I love this plant is because, yes, again, I love the creaminess of the leaves. If you guys watch my ficus, if I could only keep one, I have a lot of green plants like I was saying in that video. And so I do enjoy plants that have this like creamy white that it just adds a nice variety. If you can see that against the green, it's just something different, something subtle, something different. And it also pulls out a little bit of the lighter green and the creaminess of my other plants. So that's why I like to add plants that have a little bit of creaminess in them, just so I can add just a little bit of change to my collection. But yeah, I wouldn't keep this one because it is a lot slower, and other than that, it's a beautiful plant. But I have one that I like a little bit more. And so if you guessed it, this is the plant that I would keep if I ever needed to change my plant collection. Ooh, this has a lot of webs. This is my Sansevieria sayori, and I have been looking for this snake plant for the longest time, and I have been wanting to have a good deal on this plant because this plant here is expensive in my area. I think my local nursery had this plant in like a 10 or 10 inch pot, and it was like $78. Then we had like a 12 or 14. It was a $240. Yes, $240. And so when I saw this on Bros with Hose, I think I got it for like $30. That was a steal, and I jumped on it so fast. And I did have a little bit of damage because it was cold, but this plant has been doing phenomenal. It has been putting out so much growth. If you can see these new leaves here, these are all the new leaves that it's put out, and this is a fantastic grower, especially for it being a lighter Sansevieria. It has just been growing phenomenally. This one really does love a lot of light. A lot of this growth I got outside. I got even more growth putting it under my Sansi light, so this one definitely does need more light, especially if you want this like creaminess to come out. You can see that some of the leaves are very like grayish cream, but then when I put it outside, when I put it under my Sansi light, I got a lot of white cream. If you can see the difference there. See, that's the grayish cream, and then look at that. So that's what the newer leaves are coming out, and this is just my favorite Sansevieria. Like I said, I've been wanting this for a really long time. I was just waiting for a really great price. Other people have seen this plant in their areas for about $40, like an 8-inch, 10-inch pot. My mom actually went on a birthday trip, and the nursery that she went to had it for about $40-ish. And so this is a snake plant that I would, if I had found it in a nice size pot, I would buy it in a heartbeat because I love the creaminess. I love the color. It is very beautiful. I've also seen what this plant looks like bigger, and I just cannot wait till mine looks like that. It's nice and full. The leaves get taller. Like I said, it has that height factor, so I can't wait till mine has that height factor. It just fills out. So this has all of the needs that I want, and all of my other ones, like this one, it would have the height factor. The bigger this one grows, it would have the fullness of this one over here, as well as the creaminess of the Bantel Sensation or the Moonshine. So it has like everything that I want in one plant, and so that's why I would keep this one, because it is like all of my snake plants wrapped up into one. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, snake plants are very underrated. I haven't done a snake plant collection video, and I don't know if you guys still want to see one after watching this. You probably pretty much have seen my whole collection, but yeah, snake plants, I would get them in a heartbeat. They're good for beginners, very good for beginners. I always recommend it if you guys need to learn the basics of plant care, to pick up a snake plant. And even after you move into intermediate and advanced, I still highly recommend snake plants. But yeah, I just want to, if you guys have any other video requests or any comments, comment them in the comment section below, or put them in the comment section below. And then I just want to thank you guys so much for liking my videos, commenting, and as always, I will see you in the next video.